Number 3, there's always a crowd, but has the one heard of you? In verse 25, it says this: she had heard the reports about Jesus. There's a huge crowd. There's Jesus going to heal Jairus' daughter. There's this least of these, nobody, this woman sitting in the crowd. The Bible says this in verse 25. She had heard the reports about Jesus. My question for me, for you, for us as the church, why I'm preaching this topic is this: has anyone heard of you? I'm not talking about me being a great hockey player, because we know that's not true. Although I did sign 4 cards from someone who sent them to me last week, but that's another story. I don't know if anybody else signed a card, but I just happened to. Has anyone heard of you? More importantly than has anybody heard of you, has anyone heard about you? Have they heard about you? Because what she says in 27, she had heard the reports about Jesus. Look, many people have heard about you, and some of it's not good. She had heard the reports about Jesus. And this is some of them. Jesus turning water into wine. Jesus healing the official's son. Jesus driving out evil spirits. Jesus healing Peter's mother-in-law. Jesus healing the sick and the oppressed. The first miraculous catch of fish. Cleansing men with leprosy. Healing the paralyzed. The paralytic being dropped down the roof. Heals a man withering hand. Raises a widow's son from dead, calms the seas, casts out demons, multiplies bread, does all these miracles. What did she heard? She heard about Jesus, and she heard all this. And the importance of that, what means so much about that is this. She heard Jesus, his mercy and grace, and there was something that was happening inside of her when she heard the stories and she heard of his mercy and grace. Why is this so important? Because it gave her hope. She had hope all of a sudden. You remember the story? For 12 years, doctors looked at it and said, there's nothing we can do with you. And she was bleeding and bleeding. Can you imagine? For 12 years, she had spent all of her money trying to get healed. For the first time in her life, she had hope. Because she heard of what this Jesus can do. See, here's the key. It's the heard about him that ignited her faith. If she had never heard of him, she would never have pushed through the crowd to see this man. It's because of the miracles that she had seen and heard of that made her think, what about me? Maybe me. And she pushed through the crowd and fought through all these men. They believe it had been mostly men. And fought through the thousands that were there surrounding Jesus just so she could get a piece of him. Has anyone heard of you? Is there anybody that's going, I just want a piece of that Jesus in you? More importantly, have they heard about you?